Hi everyone, good evening, welcome to this video. This is Richie the Blind Hedgehog and my eye is itching. Oh, there you go. Yeah, my contacts have been causing me trouble today, especially my right eye. It's pretty painful. But yeah, I removed it and now it's better, so I hope a good night rest will help. I'm here with my two Speedies. The very left one is actually the guy that kept me company for years. He's a bit dirty because I've been sleeping with him, and yeah, I had him with me when I was studying in a nearby city. I had him off eBay a long time ago, and I still can't part with him. I really like him. As you can see, he's pretty used. He has a pretty long tail as well, and I think, well, this is his tag. He allows me. Yeah, I know, it's pretty worn out, isn't it? It's even possible that I actually washed Speedy and that the tag even got even more damaged. But you know, by that time I was really more into looking for a nice Speedy sleeping plush. I knew that character for years, actually since I was a little girl. One day we saw a video by them, a big, yeah. It was actually what people used before using a DVD. We saw this film with Speedy, and it was so sweet, and I really liked it. So that's actually how I knew Speedy, and here he is, still with me. Yeah, he has an S around his neck. Really sweet. This guy looks quite alike. I got him off Facebook. He's in a bit of a better condition. A little guy that I found off Facebook, really sweet, and I decided to have him together with my Speedy here. As you can see, they look quite much like each other, but they're still a bit different. So I really like having those. He has really hard feet. Does he have? Yeah, this tag is completely worn out. He has like felt pads on his paws, and he has like wires in his legs, so you can actually make him sit or make him stand. It's really special. The reason I have my two Speedies is because I would like to show you a little package that came today. Here it is. I found another Speedy on Vinted, and this guy was a bit different. He was pretty accurate. You're gonna like this guy really much. You can actually already see the color of the sombrero is different. There you go. So he's obviously smaller than the two other ones that I have. But, of course, him being a mouse, that actually makes it really nice that you can just hide him somewhere, for example, in a corner of your cupboard. And there you have Speedy sitting, so he might be a nice decoration, a nice little figure. And him being actually smaller might be quite handy for this little plush, especially because he's really nice looking. The way his eyes are put into his head are really, it's really nice, and his little whiskers. Apparently his mouth is closed on this plushie. Yeah, mine have open mouths, and his whiskers are not there anyway. So this guy actually is pretty accurate compared with the ones that I have. Also his little nose, which is not too large this time. As you can see, mine have pretty large noses. He's much more mouse looking, and he's pretty accurate compared with the modern Speedy, actually, who's a bit heavier, a bit fatter, and yeah, he's kind of round around the belly. It's not very tall, and also the way his feet are positioned next to each other, also his toes here. So he is really accurate. He is also pretty firmly stuffed. He's a great figure, and as you can see, his tail is black. So I have to say, this little plushie might be a bit smaller, but it's so much more accurate than the ones that I have. Also his sombrero, the color of it is really well made, and it's slightly stuffed. It kind of reminds me a bit of the Sugar Loaf Speedy, which sells for quite much, but it's not exactly the same plush. I think the Sugarloaf Speedy would have a sombrero that stands more like on its own. Here the front part sometimes falls over his head or over his eyes. But of course it's a bit of a worn out plush. It's in pretty good condition. Also here the sticking out part of the hat, it has a decent proportion, and even the shape actually of the hat here, and then here it is. So there are details on this plush that I never saw my other Speedy plushies, and I'm glad to have this guy because of this. He is a nice representation, a nice picture of the character, and he is incredibly accurate compared with the ones that I have. These guys are really sweet too, of course, and they're very cuddly with their bandanas. As you can see, the eyes. Oh, sorry, I'm yawning. Oh, I guess I'm tired. The nose is pretty large. The eyes are pretty large. Actually, they got the shape of the face pretty well. Also the ears. I even have another Speedy that I got from Comic Con, but they rarely got the sombrero just right. When you actually compare this guy, for example, and this one here, there's a bit of a difference. And actually here I just recall the color of the cartoons. Here it's just, yeah, very flashy yellow. It's not exactly the same shade of yellow. So what I actually considered a pretty accurate and really well made plushie of Speedy, well, I gotta say, this one is certainly not bad. I love all my Speedies. Most of them come from thrift shops, Facebook, and now Vinted apparently. I never, well, except from this one, I never got one off eBay. Well, whenever I find a Speedy, I take it home. But he's pretty rare. In general, he's pretty rare. This guy is very firmly stuffed, his little hands here. See how firmly stuffed he is. Also the legs. His legs are actually spreadable, but they are so firmly stuffed. Also the way he puts his legs like next to each other instead of putting them forward, which is really cute, by the way. Also the size of the legs here is really cute because you can do some really funny things with his legs. For example, like this. That's really cute. And the tail being mostly brown, we would say it's a brown mouse. But in fact, on the drawing, it is a black tail. Just a little rope on his ass. On his bum, sorry. Oh, pardon my language. So, oh my god. That just came out like, whoa. Oh man, I'm watching too much TV. So, and also I like the shape of the mouth here. This is really nice. This is totally a modern Speedy plushie. His mouth closed. So this guy is the total picture actually. And I really like the decency, the accuracy of this plushie. I'm actually really surprised. I really like this character. It goes now for a while. I have been liking him for I don't really know how many years. It's so uncountable that I would almost say how much years. I think at least 10 years. Unfortunately, this character didn't take a good turn, since apparently my friend told me that he's been cancelled, that he has no longer been how do I say this? I don't really know the word. This character has no longer been included actually, and that is really, yeah. When I heard that, I was quite sad, in fact, because I liked Speedy for like so many years, and now actually because he's offensive in today's world, he's no longer included. He's just abandoned. And I know mice just live for 2 years, but seriously, Speedy was always a legend. He was also a bully. I know. And he was also very, he wasn't a typical Mexican, wasn't he? Or maybe he was, but in today's world, there's no room for him anymore. And that kinda, I don't think this character deserved this. I think he's still awesome somehow, except from his bulliness. But the problem is also that I think Speedy didn't grow in the right world or in the right period. Look at Sonic, for example, from the 90s. That character was a gaming character, and you could do so much with him. He's so interactive, and look at him now. He's just Speedy, but in a hedgehog form. And that is, I guess, different with Speedy, is that he was just a cartoon character that's pretty old. Probably from the 60s. And by that time, there was no gaming yet. So I think Speedy was born in the wrong period. And apparently he kinda died early because of this. Or maybe because of another reason, but I suggest you leave something in the comments below if you want to know. Or if you want to discuss this. I don't really know super much about the character. I just think he's really adorable. And both him and Sonic are really fast. But I wish Speedy had more of a chance. Because of his Mexican accent and because of his origins and because of his behavior, he's been completely left out. And, he's not the only character that is like sometimes a bit arrogant and cocky. But I'm pretty sure that still, give this mouse a chance, he's so cute. So yeah, I'm still collecting plushies of him as long as I can. And I'm glad I found this guy. Also, he feels so soft. It's not just felt. This is a really good quality plushie. Yee, belly, belly, belly. If only I could find a slowpoke. It would be nice to have his cousin. But look at him. The colors are just right. I still have a DVD of him. I like it. And if there's one Warner Bros. Looney Tunes character that I really like, my all-time favorite was always Speedy. So there you go. I really hope you enjoyed this video and this whole statement about Speedy. But yeah, he's great, isn't he? So there you go. I think this is all. I don't think there's any more in the package to put in fan books or something. Now, like I said, I really hope you enjoyed this video, guys, and I'll see you later. Thanks for watching. Bye!